is coming the 27th from 10 till 6 and the 28th from 10 till 5 downtown Ocala, with 165 artists from around the country competing for $22,000 worth of awards, free admission, free children's art projects, free live entertainment, and free parking, plus food trucks to curb your appetite. Come all, Ocala's Arts Festival voted 32nd out of 200 of the best festivals in the USA. Friends, countrymen, tourists, and Ocalans, lend me your ears. Hey, speaking of ears, there is an opportunity for you to help feed and provide good maintenance, housing, and medical care for Marion County's rescued big cats, bears, monkeys, and other disabled or unreleasable wild and exotic animals. Take a tour on Wednesdays or Saturdays of the Endangered Animal Rescue Sanctuary. Call 352-266-2859. The Endangered Animal Rescue Sanctuary is affectionately known as EARS.
70 degrees, 25 minutes before 8 o'clock. I'll figure out how to do this job one day, Roman.
He's been doing it since 1984.
There's a 50% chance we'll see some rain today. So 1 week ago, this morning, we were reporting about the devastation that had happened one day earlier up in the Panhandle, specifically Mexico Beach. I had never even heard of Mexico Beach before, and now, of course, we all know about Mexico Beach because it's not there anymore, pretty much. And it was amazing how quickly we heard about an organized group of just individual citizens deciding they wanted to make a difference. And so we had some ladies come contact us. Actually, they didn't come in until after they had already delivered the food. So they had a drive. They got volunteers. They teamed up with Sonny's, and they were able to bring all this food up to the Panhandle. They got to a church in Tallahassee, just to kind of really synopsisize what happened there. And the church wasn't equipped to handle all that food. They had just so much from Ocala people that brought it all to the trucks and trailers that they
and
had set.
hygiene items and things. Also.
Yeah, all kinds. It was unbelievable. I think the key to what they did is they sent us a list of what would be necessary. Yeah. And so that made it easy for us to say, oh, I can do that. I don't have $1 billion, but I can go get some diapers or some canned food, So anyway, so they drove up there. The church said, gosh, we're not equipped. This is too much stuff. So they sent them to two different places. One place, I can't remember the first place. Do you remember the first place they went to?
Oh, I can't remember the name.
But it was they had nothing. So they were the first people to arrive with anything.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Blountstown.
Well, that was the second one.
Oh, the second one.
The second one was Blountstown.
First
And then they went to Blountstown, and I'm probably saying it wrong, but they could see firsthand the devastation, and they weren't even in the worst of it.
Yeah.
And of course, it was just, we were so proud of these young ladies that did this, and then we invited her in. Was it Tuesday? I think it was this week.
Because within 4 days after the hurricane hit, they had delivered all of the stuff within 4 days. They didn't wait or anything. They got it collected within 2 days, and they were gone. All these trucks and everything. They had, everything was amazing. Within 4 days, these ladies did a fabulous job.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, that's pretty quick.
So why I wanted to use that as an introduction to what you're doing, Stephen, is because it's obvious that when there's that much devastation, one weekend is awesome. You ladies were out. Not only did you do an amazing thing, but you inspired the rest of us. You inspired us all to say, oh my gosh, if they can do it, we can do it. Hiers-Baxley has been doing stuff for our community as long as I can remember. And that's not an ad. That's just the truth. Even if I wasn't doing a radio show, I'd be sitting with Robin having coffee saying, did you hear what Hiers-Baxley did?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, do we have any more coffee? So Stephen Tweedle is here with us. He is let me read Robin's notes, a licensed funeral director and locations leader at Hiers-Baxley Funeral Services. So you're here to talk to us about the pumpkin patch and how that's going to help people, church specifically in Panama City?
Yeah, exactly right. Okay. We are very active with the pumpkin patch this year and helping put that on. And just to kind of back up a little bit, we had our delivery of pumpkins was affected by the hurricane. So our first delivery was supposed to arrive last Wednesday. It arrived last Thursday, a week ago.
Okay.
So we received the pumpkins, and basically the day that we got the pumpkins, we got a phone call from our supplier saying, hey, there's this church in Panama City that we don't know what's going on. we know that they're not having their pumpkin patch because of the hurricane. We don't even know if they have a church left.
Oh my gosh.
And when Lori, who's in charge of the pumpkin patch, heard that, it bothered her. It hurt her heart. So they basically, what the pumpkin supplier was asking is if we can take their delivery of pumpkins. So she immediately said yes. So we received another half a truckload. We had received 3,000 pumpkins Thursday. We received another 1,500 on Monday. To help them out. And when that conversation happened between the supplier and Lori, her brain immediately started going, how can we help the church in Panama City? And it ranged, the conversations of what we could do ranged from taking donations, just what can we do, and it evolved into what we would like to do is coming up on Saturday night between 7 and 9. We typically have a pumpkin patch after dark event where we have bands out. We're still doing that. We have the Heaven Bound Singers coming out. It's a bluegrass gospel group, but we're between 7 and 9 on Saturday. We're going to donate all proceeds to Grace Episcopal Church, the church that we received their pumpkins.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did that church fare after the storm?
I'm glad you asked that. They lost the roof of the church and the roof of their classrooms. Their parish hall is okay, but their recovery has begun, and so obviously the monetary donations is the quickest way that we can help with what their needs are.
Are they right now? Do they have power? Are they?
From what I understand, they do not have power. Lori got in contact with the minister through their Facebook Messenger. She had watched their Facebook page and saw some activity, so she knew it was being monitored. So that's how she reached out to the church. So,
and since they lost their roof, they must have had a lot of water damage on the inside.
There's a tremendous amount of water damage. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh. People are just trying to and this is going to take a long time.
Yeah, it is. It's devastating. You know, I've lived here my whole life, and when hurricanes come through, you're kind of like, you know.
Yeah.
But this one, for some reason, just seems to. I mean, I remember the ones in South Florida, but this one, for some reason, just seems to be so impactful. So
it really is. And it's kind of like Katrina in New Orleans, or even just a month ago, Florence in the Carolinas.
Correct.
That was unbelievable too.
Yeah.
Well, I think what helped save lives is that most of the people adhered to the warnings and they left.
Yeah, that is probably really true.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, lesson for all of us. You know, if the people in charge say, "Hey, it's going to be bad, get out," then just figure out a way and find a place to stay somewhere else.
Yeah, get what you can and go.
Yeah, make those plans now. You know, put a little fund away so you can pay for a hotel room for a week or something. You know, somewhere. All right. So, how can we help you? What can we do?
Absolutely. There's a couple of different ways that you can help. We will be taking donations all day on Saturday for the church. So if you want to come in and if you're buying pumpkins, if you can only get there at 2:00 on Saturday, make a little bit of a donation and we'll set it aside for them.
All right.
If you can get there between 7 and 9, purchase the pumpkins then, because all proceeds go to the church.
Okay.
And again, we'll have the entertainment there. Brick City Barbecue has donated banana pudding to us. So,
nice.
Yep. Some of the ladies at the church have baked different desserts and things like that. So between Brick City with their donation, the church congregation making their desserts, it should be a good time. You know, we'll have the Heaven Bound Singers will be there. So,
is it going to be a bake sale?
Nope, it's all free.
Oh,
it's all free.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. So it's just another way to get people there to come and hang out and hopefully help the community, you know, up in Panama City. So.
Oh my gosh! Well, have a tip jar, because I hate when you're trying to raise money and I'm taking a piece of cake.
Yeah,
we'll have it out there.
Give us a way to give money.
Well, we bought our pumpkins last Saturday, and
we got a white one.
Have a lot. Yeah, we got a white one on the end, and I've never seen one of those. And I think it's really amazing. All of the pumpkins, they look so healthy and so beautiful, and it was fun because there were a few children out there, and they were, you know, running around, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you know, one of the drives that we really wanted to do this year was make an event for or a way for people to come and hang out, just a place to go. And yesterday, one of our volunteers came up to me and they said, I hope I didn't mess up, but there was a family out here and they want to bring a group of families out on Saturday and just have a picnic out here. Is that okay? I told them yes. I'm like, absolutely, that's what we want.
Oh, that is awesome. That's a wonderful idea.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so they're going to come out and just hang out and have
I understand the reason, too, because it just looks like a fun place to have a picnic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Now other people are going to do it. They're hearing you say that.
Great. Come on.
And you want that, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you have photo opportunities. There are different things.
Yeah, we have several booths. The youth group helped us with several photo booths there. And what we've asked our volunteers to do is, typically there's always 3 or 4 people in front of the camera, and then somebody from the family's behind the camera.
Right,
so that person doesn't get in there. So we've asked our volunteers to be sure to get over there, and if you see that person on the other side of the camera, take the camera from them and get them in the picture. So you have a family photo there.
Yeah, and you got a frame. Rob and I went when we got those pumpkins, and all of a sudden there's a frame, and somebody's taking our picture.
Yeah. Lori, she's very creative, and she identified that as being a potential very quickly. So she ran home, pulled some pictures out of some frames, and brought her frames back out there. And then Wear Gloves Ministries helped us make the signs. So there's actually signs that say Ocala Pumpkin Patch 2018 that people are holding up.
Nice.
Oh, we were lucky on Saturday because the gentleman named Roy was out there, and he was one of the original founders of the Pumpkin Patch at Druid Hills.
Yeah, his guidance has been key to this whole thing. Him and his daughter Debbie. It's not that easy. I never had an idea how much it was involved. I've driven by that Druid Hills Pumpkin Patch a million times. And it just kind of pops up and it's there for a few weeks and then it goes away.
Yes. And you know what it never really maybe impressed, not even didn't impress me, that's a bad word. I never really kind of got it that this was all a fundraiser for other people, I always looked at it as, that's a fun thing. There's pumpkins. We can go get pumpkins. And it's a nice thing they're doing.
Right.
But it never occurred to me that every time we buy a pumpkin, somebody else is getting fed. Somebody else is having something maybe to wear. And in this case, to helping out a church, get a roof back on.
You're exactly right. This particular year, the patch will help Wear Gloves Ministries, Open Arms Village. We're helping Interfaith, the church, and then we've got there's a fourth one, and I'm trying to. Tuesday Ministries. Our group there at the United Methodist Church Tuesday mornings. So those are the people. So when you're out buying pumpkins, you are helping people, and 100% of the proceeds go to the community. They do not stay anywhere in the church. They go right out, immediately back out into the community. So, it's worth it.
Are you a member of that church?
I am not.
Oh, you're not a member of that church?
I have I'm very active in the church. My sister runs the preschool there, and that's how I started going there, because she's like, you need to come. It's a good place to go. I wasn't going anywhere.
So you go, but you're not a member?
That's correct.
So is that going to happen? Is that?
I think I'm going to do it.
But when just this as an aside thought, that is such an iconic building. Whenever we use landmarks, we always refer to something like a church, and then that church is always a landmark for me. I'm terrible with directions. Robin will always say, "Well, just go past First United Methodist." Oh, okay, now I know where we are.
Right.
So that's where we have to go.
I'm like you. You have to give me. I don't do roads. You can't tell me to turn left on the 32nd because I have no clue where that is. Tell me what's on the corner.
Yeah, turn left at Walgreens. I got it. Okay.
Exactly.
Walgreens, yeah.
Right.
And one of the nice things you're doing this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon is you're doing deaf story time.
That's correct.
And that's going to be pretty amazing, too.
Yeah. We have a couple of events on Saturday, actually. We have the patch, the run to the patch is Saturday morning.
Oh, what is that?
What we're doing there is the local running clubs. We've reached out to them, and they're starting their runs independently, but between 7 and 9, they're going to end their runs at the patch. So we'll have Gatorade there for them, granola bars, a way to replenish themselves. And then,
are you a runner?
I am. No way. No.
Me too.
I'm a
with
watcher.
You.
I watch them run. So Maya, who is Lori's daughter, has made medals for everybody that ends their run there. So there's pumpkin medals there. So yeah, it's been a real family event with this whole thing.
So we need to get in touch with the running club then if we want to run on Saturday.
If we want to run.
Well, I'm not. So.
Rob and I have we actually have participated in some of the 5Ks just to help out, because they'll come in here, they'll talk about it.
Sure.
And we'll do it, and then we're always last.
Yeah.
Always. Because we run maybe 30 feet, and that's it.
That's it. That's about all I've gotten me to.
But there was one time we were second to last.
Really?
Yeah, the person behind us had a big child on his shoulders. And that's not a lie. That was the truth.
Yeah, that was the truth.
We were only faster than the guy with a child that looked like he was 12.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And this is really a community event. We were privileged one year to be at Druid Hills when they were unloading the pumpkins, and the Forest High School Junior ROTC was there, and they did it. And it was just amazing how much they worked together and had fun, and they were all organized as to what goes where. And you got to hand it to our students. They're really community involved.
Yes, and not only was it planned for them to help us out with the first semi-load, but with the second load, kind of, it was an emergency. We took that load for the church. Mm-hmm. We called them and they were there.
Wow.
So yeah, they organized their group. They came out Monday, and they helped us do another half a truck on Monday. So it was just the spur of the moment thing, and that was awesome that they came back out. And we're actually receiving another load.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's coming up on Friday, and we are looking for volunteers. ROTC is booked. So if anybody wants to come out, we're going to do an ice cream social.
Oh, nice. On Friday, tomorrow.
So that's an event for you and I. The non-runners will do the ice cream social.
Oh, I can do that. I can handle the ice cream social. Yeah. Do you know, I think our founding fathers, not to get too philosophical, but I think when they decided on using those three words, we the people, I really think they had in mind for it to be us and not depending on the fire department for everything or the military for everything or the police. It's us. And so, like when you hear the governor say, I'm mobilizing the Coast Guard or whatever to help out with this, and we have some Marion County firefighters up there. We have all kinds of people up there right now, but there's also the rest of us. But the problem is we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And we don't have a whole lot of resources either. That's why I love something like this. Because you mean to tell me I can make my 2 cents worth by buying a pumpkin?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty amazing if you think about it. And I hope everybody realizes that.
Yeah. And the ladies that mobilized that group that went up there within a matter of days, that's spectacular.
Yes.
But a lot of us can't react that quickly. So this is a way for you to be able to help, and then the proceeds will go up there. So.
Yeah, and we need to keep doing it for probably for a long time. It's going to take a while for those folks. There was a story this morning. I was watching the video of the lady who saw what used to be her home for the first time. I think they found a stool that the guy used to sit on to do whatever he did. His stool is all they could find.
Oh my!
Isn't that something?
Well, and you talked about the devastation, and it is memories and your home. But there's also there's a financial cost to all of that. And just to give an idea of what this church is battling with, their deductible alone is $58,000.
Oh, wow!
So that's just right off the bat. That's what they're struggling with. Never mind everything else that's going along with it. So that's what we're hoping to help them with. So
when you're done raising the funds and everything, will you have a representative going up there to present it to them?
Yeah, actually Lori and I talked about that last night. She wants to go up there, and so we're probably going to be making a trip to Panama City. She's been in contact with the pastor, and they're very, very appreciative of everything that we're trying to do to help them. And this was actually only their second year of doing the patch. Last year was their first year. And so, yeah, we're going to be, sounds like a road trip up there.
Do you know, if everybody in Ocala gave $1, I think that's the population of Ocala, isn't it? 58,000?
Yeah, about. Yeah.
Isn't that what we have here?
Yep.
And of course, we have the whole county, not just the city, but it's really... You can't even imagine if somebody says to you, you know what, we need $58,000. Whoa, got to look somewhere else. But if you say, you know what I need you to buy a pumpkin. And if you pay $10 for the pumpkin, guess how much of that goes to the church or to the cause, whatever it may be? $10.
$10.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are getting nothing. Well, not you guys, but I mean the the people running the pumpkin patch, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And are you going to, since you are planning the trip up there, is Hiers-Baxley going to be a collection point for non-perishable food items and hygiene items?
We absolutely would do that, and we have locations everywhere. So we've got 2 in the villages. The main one, Ocala on the Boulevard. That's where it all started, and then we have the one in Bellevue and one out on 200 at Timber Ridge. So, and then our cemeteries on 3rd, Northeast 3rd. So any of those places, if anybody wants to bring anything, because Lori and I will be going up there, I'm sure, just go ahead and drop it off, and we'll make sure it gets up there.
All right. So primarily we want to look at this weekend. Is it tomorrow also, or not tomorrow? As far as going to the pumpkin, you can go any day, right? But
yeah,
the events are Saturday.
That's correct. The unloading of the ice cream social and unloading is tomorrow night. We have the run Saturday morning, and then Saturday night is the patch after dark. So yeah,
so
and that's where all the yes, that's correct.
And should people bring their lawn chairs, or do you have places to sit? Or
no, lawn chairs. We do have a few picnic tables out there. Lawn chairs are highly recommended.
Just bring your own.
You bring your own.
Yeah.
We had some people last week. We had Mr. Gibbs out to play for us. He played for a couple of hours, and people had some blankets spread out, and
nice.
There's some hay bales to sit on. But yeah, bring your own lawn chair.
Nice.
And this is pretty amazing too. Will you be out there also on Saturday?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been out there since a little bit before it started helping, and then when I'm not working, I'm out there to help out as much.
So, what's your favorite ice cream topping?
My favorite ice cream topping does not matter. If it goes on ice cream, it goes. I love it all. So. Nothing pumpkin.
Oh, you don't like pumpkin ice cream?
No, I do.
I don't even know if I've ever had it.
Pumpkins right now. Wait till like July and you'll be fine.
Yep. I don't even know if I've ever had pumpkin ice cream. But when I first found out the pumpkin flavored things, I thought, you're kidding me. That's got to be a horrible flavor. But it's not. I don't know what they do. It's like carrot cake. How is that a cake?
It's all the spices. It's all the spices, yeah.
Well, I got brave the other day. I went to Starbucks and had their pumpkin spice thing for the first time. I was debating.
Was it good?
It was a big debate. Yes, it was. It was cold.
Oh, maybe
so
I'll get one today.
Hot or cold. So, but what you're doing is absolutely amazing, especially to have this liaison between you and the church.
Yeah, and I appreciate.
Is any call for volunteers other than just helping out by buying pumpkins and showing up with some cash? I mean, do you need carpenters? Do you need drivers? Do you need anybody like, what do you call sweat equity, Robin? That's what they call it over at Habitat for Humanity, right?
Yeah, we can always use people at the patch to help us out. As far as I'm aware, we're not sending any type of people up to Panama City to help with any type of reconstruction. I'll tell you who could use any type of sweat equity that you're talking about, though, is the Dignity Center, Wear Gloves Ministries. They're always looking for people over there to help volunteer to help with the distressed people in Marion County. So they've got a couple of people over there that are versed in carpentry and helping to build the chairs, but
and we can help them just by getting a cup of coffee, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, that's another great idea that somebody had.
Dignity Roasters.
Yeah, they're that's correct, Robin. The Wear Gloves umbrella, Dignity Roasters, is underneath that umbrella, and so he does the coffee roasting over there too.
And what time Friday will the truck begin unloading?
We're hoping we're going to have our volunteers there at 5 o'clock. They usually get there a little bit early. For example, the truckload that we got the other day was there first thing in the morning, and he waited for the volunteers to get there. So they have a buffer time to get there, and then right at 5 o'clock we'll start. And
how many people are you looking for? You think?
As many as we can. We don't really set a number on it, but what we do is we line up shoulder to shoulder from the back of the truck to where we want the pumpkins to go, and we just hand them off to each other.
It's an unbelievable thing to witness. Robin and I saw it. For anybody out there that is a photographer, that is a photo opportunity.
It is.
Just
wonderful
to see that happening and all of those bright orange pumpkins, and these young faces, all the young people that are helping out, right?
Yeah.
It's just a really good thing.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask you to put your headset on so you can. We have a caller, so that we can hear the caller. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, everybody. I was just thinking, I couldn't think of a better place than where Larry and Robin could be playing their music with a large pumpkin in front of them, waiting for those dollar bills to come floating in.
I think they've already got musicians, though.
Yeah,
we do for Saturday night. But
thank you. That was a sweet thing to say. I don't know that we're up to that level at this point in our.
And we had done that at Druid Hills. at the Pumpkin Patch. We had our concert there.
And at that time, we were kind of doing it all the time. But now we hardly play anymore. We play First Friday Art Walk is about all we do anymore. So
So you guys played at Druid Hills too?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. We had a whole Halloween special concert
that's awesome.
we did for the children.
Yeah, I knew you've been involved with the patch for a while. I didn't realize you played there.
We actually did a song called "The Pumpkin Patch at Druid Hills."
Really?
And made a video. Yeah.
And there's another Druid Hills United Methodist Church somewhere else that was using the song.
Really?
Yeah. I can't remember where it was. Was it Indiana or something? Somewhere else. Yeah, somebody else was using it.
It's cool.
But Hiers-Baxley always steps up to the plate for everything. I mean, you guys always manage to have you and your staff donate their time to help others. You're absolutely amazing.
Yeah, we have a good group, and we're really focused on getting out in the community and meeting people and seeing where we can plug in. So yeah, we do the best we can to fill those holes.
Do you know, if there's a silver lining in the cloud that was called Hurricane Michael, it is this. It is the fact that in the midst of all these stories about people, hating each other, and the Me Too people who've been, abusing people, and it's like, oh my gosh, humanity is just not good. And then you realize, no, that's what the news wants you to believe. The truth is, there are more people like Stephen Tweedle than there are like, Weinstein or whatever that guy's name is, right?
Yeah, and I'm just here today, and it is a group of people. I mean,
sorry,
it's okay. There is people all over the place that have stepped up for this patch, and again, I've been there every day, but there's people I don't even know that have contributed and helped. So, you're right. It's to see people to fill the gap. It's amazing. So,
all right, real quickly before we end, can you just give us the contact information, the addresses, and I guess a brief thing of what you're doing, and the date we need to remember mostly is this Saturday, right? But the entire time from now through Halloween, right?
That's correct. We'll be doing it through the end of the month, and then at the end of the month we have the trunk or treat immediately. I mean, that's right. The day the pumpkin patch ends, that night we're having trunk or treat, which is a free event to the community. So yeah. And the address or the patch is every day. They're at the church on the boulevard. It's the First United Methodist Church, and what we are looking for is for people on Friday night to come out and help us unload if they can. There's an ice cream social. On Saturday night from 7 to 9 is the patch after dark, and that's where the proceeds will go to the church in Panama City, the Grace Episcopal Church. Yeah. And then of course the run ends on Saturday morning at the patch, and then we do have Brick City Barbecue has donated some banana pudding for us all on Saturday night. So I haven't had it yet, but from what I hear, it's the best in town.
You can't go wrong with banana pudding.
That's right.
Hey, it's even good in the Chinese restaurant, which is the worst pizza in town, by the way.
Yeah.
Stephen Tweedle, thank you so much for what you are doing. You and Hiers-Baxley, First United Methodist Church, thank you for what you're doing. Let's show the Panama City Beach Church, the Grace Episcopal Church in Panama City. Let's show them that we're here for them. Thank you, Stephen.
I appreciate it.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Here is your 1-minute news brief. A 50-year-old Ocala man who planned to bomb Target stores from Florida to New York was sentenced yesterday to 40 years in federal prison. Residents of Mexico Beach returned home for the first time yesterday, 1 week after Hurricane Michael, to find pieces of their lives scattered across the sand and a community forever altered. 124,500 homes are still without power. The final debate between U.S. Senator Bill Nelson and Governor Rick Scott is being canceled because the candidates could not agree on a new date. An 86-year-old Ocklawaha woman has died from injuries sustained in a 3-vehicle accident on Tuesday afternoon on Southeast 36th Avenue in Ocala. 2 former police officers who admitted to framing a black teenager were sentenced by a Miami federal judge. They will each serve 1 year in federal prison. And Disney's Coronado Springs Resort is getting a new 15-story tower. The tower will include 545 guest rooms and a 2-story lobby. And that is your news brief from The Source.
Lots of sunshine today. It'll be very warm and humid with a high of 86 at the coast, 90 or so inland. Clear to partly cloudy Thursday night. There can be a shower or two late at night along the coast. Lows 70 inland, 78 at the coast. Friday, times of sun and clouds with a shower or thunderstorm in the area. High 84 at the coast, 88 inland. On Saturday, times of clouds and sunshine. High 87 at the coast, 91 inland. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Clap your hands, raise your voice, and feel your heart soar at Dollywood's Harvest Festival and Southern Gospel Jubilee, September 28th until November 3rd. You'll enjoy over 500 live performances free with admission, with favorites Gold City, Mark Lowry, The Isaacs, and so many more. Marvel at the artistry of true craftsmen and revel in all the rich colors of autumn in the Great Smoky Mountains. This is one fall celebration that is truly heaven sent. Get your tickets today at Dollywood.com.
Shop, sample, and share the fun at Orlando's favorite event for women, the Southern Women's Show, October 25th through 28th at the Orange County Convention Center. Discover hundreds of boutiques filled with the latest fashions and trends, jewelry, gourmet treats, health and beauty, and so much more. Meet Savannah Chrisley from Chrisley Knows Best on Saturday. See actor and best-selling author Keegan Allen on Sunday. And watch your firefighters heat up the stage. Visit SouthernWomenShow.com for details. Discount tickets at Walgreens.
It's free children's art projects, free live entertainment, and free parking, plus food trucks to curb your appetite. Come all, Ocala's Arts Festival voted 32nd out of 200 of the best festivals in the USA.
71 degrees, 4 minutes after 8 o'clock. Galen Unold is on the phone from Life South Community Blood Center. Good morning, Galen.
Hey, good morning, Larry, Robin. How are y'all?
Good. The temperature and the time took top billing. You were in third place today.
That happens.
You know, I didn't write the ad that I just voiced, but I like that. You like that choice of words. The food trucks will curb your appetite. See, the food truck is parked by that. I wonder if that was intentional or that was a.
Yeah.
Oh, so
sure it was.
So let me tell you something. We've got some young ladies who have very sexy voices, and you can hear me saying, "Hey, when you go on a date, what's the first thing you look for?" And they say, "Well, we look for somebody who donates blood to Life South, of course." And so we're going to give it to you so you can use it as a promo. Do you think your boss is okay with that?
Sure.
Excellent. This is great. This is gonna be good.
And I promise it wasn't me just pretending to be a lady. Just there wasn't that voice I just did. It wasn't Jethro Bodine. It wasn't Jethro Bodine's alter ego, Jethrina.
Oh, okay.
No, he did. He had a cousin named Jethrine.
I just
and he played the cousin.
That's what I just said.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Robin wasn't paying attention, Galen.
I just was like somewhere else.
She didn't realize I meant that same thing. Hey.
Oh, okay.
You know what the fun thing I have for you today is, Galen?
What's that?
The 16 kinds of sports fans.
Oh, okay.
All right, this is kind of fun. This is kind of fun. It was
I need to pick me up this morning after I stayed up till like 2:30 watching the Red Sox game or 2 o'clock.
Go ahead, talk about them. I heard the news this morning. What do you want to say? They won. Is that all you need to say?
Oh, they won. That's you don't need to talk trash when you win. You just point to the scoreboard and say, there you go. So, yeah, if they're up 3-1, they could clinch tonight. David Price is on the mound, which is not good for us, but let's see what happens. He's going against Verlander, who is arguably one of the best pitchers in baseball, and his wife is hot.
His wife is
hot. Well, that's always
Giselle
an important
has competition
thing. Always
now.
an important thing.
It's Kate Upton. I mean, it's Kate Upton.
Oh, Kate Upton.
I think she's much better than Giselle. I mean, I don't think they're in the same category.
She was in all that fur in Antarctica, I think, for Sports Illustrated.
Maybe
Kate Upton was
probably
for that magazine.
She's a Sports Illustrated model.
Issue. Yeah.
Go ahead and Google her, Larry, and that'll give you a good distraction right there.
All right, let me Google it. A good scratching.
Kate Upton.
Kate Upton.
Oh, wait, K-A-T-E, I assume. Kate Upton. Okay.
Yeah, she was in that Antarctica Sports
I didn't even need to put anything but Kate. It came up.
Yeah, she's
I
definitely searchable.
Yeah.
Sports Illustrated.
Okay, I see her. Oh, yeah.
There you go. Look at that.
Oh, she's an actress. I've seen her in movies, right? Haven't I seen her?
She has. Yeah, she's a swimsuit model and an actress. And
does she have a Honey West
her
mold?
best role, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know.
Honey West before your time?
Yeah, I think so. Galen's too young.
I get that. I mean, I would call it a Cindy Crawford mold.
Oh, okay. It's Cindy Crawford mold. Yeah.
Yes, Honey West was Angie Dickinson, and she's like ancient right now.
Right?
Angie Dickinson is she's a good-looking woman. So.
All right. So I have a wingman word of caution for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is my wingman word of caution. How late did you stay up to watch that game?
Well, I think it ended at like 1:35, and then I couldn't go right to sleep. So I probably didn't go to bed till after 2.
All right.
What time did it start?
8:30.
All right.
Wow.
All right. So the next time relatives are showing up from out of town and your wife says they're going to get here after midnight and you say, well, I'm going to bed, she's going to pull this on you. She's going to say, you mean you can stay up till 2 to watch baseball, but you can't stay up for the relatives. Right?
Yeah, I wouldn't. We wouldn't have relatives come over after midnight.
All right. Well, how about this? Your sons are married, and his wife is going to have a baby, and it's not there yet.
Yeah, of course we're going to stay up.
And it's 11:30, and you're in the waiting room. Okay. Well, let's say it's the 4th child. You've done it now 4 times. Your grandpa 4 times over.
Matter.
Okay. All right. It's 11:30. You say, I am going to take a nap, and they say, wait a minute.
Like if I have to stay up, like let's say like the kids are out or something like that, I have to stay up. My wife won't stay up. She doesn't think that's her job. So it doesn't matter what it is. I would have to stay up.
Wow. I've always stayed up.
You have to have roles, right? You have to have roles. Somebody's got to stay up, and it was always me.
All right. So in other words, the baseball is your training in case you need to stay up late for something else.
I couldn't have slept. There's no way I can sleep if the Red Sox are in the playoffs. I can't sleep if they're playing on the West Coast against, a crappy team like the Angels. I can't sleep until I know the final score. That's the way it is.
All right,
Part of being a fan. I'm not smart. I don't claim to be.
You are really smart.
Really
oh my gosh, no!
Don't do that to yourself.
You are so smart.
Not when it comes to the Red Sox. I stayed up till 2:30. Now I'm up here doing this show.
Did your wife wear her pajamas? The Red Sox pajamas?
Not last night. She did against the Yankees, and and then she was like, "Look, I'm not wearing these." I'm like, "Okay." So
and they won it.
We beat the Yankees. Once we beat the Yankees, that's almost good enough. Now that we're up 3-1, now we need to go ahead and win the whole World Series.
Oh, there you go.
I think no matter who the Red Sox play, I think they'll win the World Series because they're better than both the Dodgers and the Brewers. So we'll see who wins though between those two teams.
All right, how's the blood supply? Let's talk about that for a second.
We're getting there. I'll put it that way. So we were in emergency need. Now we're just in critical need, but we still need all types. So just get out there, give the gift of life, and donate blood. We have right about a 3-day blood supply.
Wow. I want to make sure that Palm Garden of Ocala knows that we appreciate their sponsorship because that important reminder Galen just delivered is made possible by our 2 great sponsors, Palm Garden of Ocala and Penn Flooring. So thank you to both of them. For the rest of us, just remember what they do and make sure you patronize them. Is that a good word, patronize? That sounds like a bad word now.
It does. It sounds like a bad word.
Make sure you, what's a good word better than patronize? That used to be an okay word.
Yeah.
That's an okay word. Patronize their business. Sure.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. But anyway, go to Penn Flooring, see what they can do to make your home or office more beautiful from the floor up. They're at 1201 Southwest 17th Street, and thank them for the important reminder. I'm telling you, that reminder gets a lot of us off of our butts, including the 2 that sit here each morning. Palm Garden of Ocala. Thank you for sponsoring that. They are a skilled nursing facility. Go see what they can do for you or a loved one. They're at 2700 Southwest 34th Street here in Ocala. And they do have a website. It's palmgardenofocala.com. So check it out. All right. You ready? Now, I have to give credit where credit is due. This is written by a journalist named Dan Carson. And he writes for the Bleacher Report.
Okay.
Okay?
And what's the title?
16 kinds of sports fans.
Nice.
I want Galen to comment on all these. Ready? First of all, there's the Uncle Rico. Let me tell you what he means by that. Uncle Rico is the fan who remembers when all of this here land was cattle country. Have you ever gone to a game with one of them? With Uncle Rico?
Yeah. I mean, well, at some point you become that guy, right? Because if you're old enough, you realize, wow. I remember, unless you go to like Booster Stadium, and nobody remembers when Booster Stadium wasn't there, but like you could go to like Westport High School, and I remember when this was all cows.
Yeah, right. Yeah, even I remember that.
Or you look at like Forest High School, and you go, this isn't Forest High School. Forest High School is downtown in the sinkhole. So yeah, I think we all become that guy. Sure.
All right, now the next one he gives a nice name to, but I think this is your least favorite fan, right up on the number 2 slot. The Oregon Trailer, also known as the bandwagon fans. Yeah, every year. Yeah, go ahead.
Here's the thing. So I hate it when all of a sudden, because people know that I'm a pretty passionate Red Sox fan, right?
Right.
And so what I don't like about bandwagon fans is how all of a sudden the bandwagon fan wants to break down the team, tries to know everything that's going on, knows all the players, and wants to discuss strategy with me, right? That's what bothers me about the bandwagon fan. At the same time, sports doesn't exist without bandwagon fans because they bring in so much money because they're the moron who goes and buys a brand new jersey with their favorite player on the back, and they wear it twice. And, I also believe that at some age you should no longer wear anything with somebody else's name on the back. I think that's part of growing up. It's like wearing your hat backwards. After about the age of, 20, turn your hat around and wear it like you're supposed to. So.
All right,
I need it.
Now the next one I'll tell you what he calls them, and then I'll have to read the first paragraph because otherwise you might misconstrue what he's trying to say. The Karma Chameleon is the third fan, and this is the fan. This is the fan whose behavior is based entirely on their team's performance.
Oh my!
So they're the nicest people during the regular season, but if their team starts failing, they are just miserable. You can't be around them.
I'm familiar with that guy.
Are you him?
That's part of I am a little bit. It depends on what the expectations are. It's one thing when, and I don't care what it is, anything you care about, when you don't feel like somebody's not playing up to their expectations, then it's incredibly disappointing. So I understand that. I understand it. I try not to be that guy, but I think any fan is that guy.
But bottom line is, as far as that goes, this morning you will be the nicest guy at work.
Yeah.
Right?
Because you're happy.
No, I'll be tired.
Oh my God.
Tired. What time does this game start tonight? We got to do this again tonight. Yeah.
All right. The next one is the coach. This is the guy who upends your coffee table after a failed screen pass on 4th and inches.
Oh, don't you hate them?
Well, that's a good coach doesn't do that, unless you actually have to. I am a realist, and I understand that my actions don't have any impact on the game itself, except for my wife's underwear against the Yankees. Other than that, it has no impact. So.
That's why we go to a bar when we watch our favorite sports teams.
No, we don't. That's why I don't go to a bar.
Oh.
Because you run into all these people. No. I cannot watch my Red Sox around other people who think they're Red Sox fan. It drives me nuts because you hear really stupid things, and then next thing you know, you're trying to educate them on why they're an idiot. And that never ends well.
I've only gone to a bar to watch a sports event one time, and here's the story. Alex was still a little kid, and my 2 nephews were still little kids. So the 3 of us were up. I think Doug was even with us, and we were at Jacksonville Landing, and we were on the 2nd floor of like the game room or something. And then I was looking around from the balcony there to see if there was a restaurant somewhere, and there was a Hooters on the ground floor. And I said, hey, why don't we go have something to eat down there? So we went in there, and it happened to be exactly when some big game was going on. When Robin gets back in, she just left. When she gets, maybe she remembers. Do you remember what game that was? We went to Hooters in Jacksonville Landing. Was it the Super Bowl? Or was it just a major game? It was a big game.
I think it was a major game. It was a football game, and it was a major game.
So we went into
wonderful.
this Hooters. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. I mean, everybody was cheering, and the three boys. That was just, I mean, they were just loving it. We had wings and food and other food. I should say. Anyway, it's just fun. All right, the next one is.
That's because you don't care. I mean, that's why.
Well, that's true for me, but it wasn't true for them. The boys cared. They were really into it.
Everybody in there was a bandwagon fan.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think the boys were
A
though.
true fan breaks down every play, studies it.
Yeah, but they were 12.
The TV,
they were maybe 12.
Sits in their favorite seat. Yeah, 12 is where you start to become a fan. But in order to be an incredible fan like myself, I think you have to have your heart ripped out. You know, where you go to bed and you're literally crying. That's when you become a fan, because you have to. You have to suffer, and through your suffering, it brings you closer.
There you go.
But suffering is so much of a deeper pain and emotion than celebration. You can't describe it, and you can't properly celebrate until you've suffered.
You really should do like a speaking engagement somewhere.
Fans know this.
Great line.
Sports fans 101.
All right, listen. The next fan.
They know that.
The next fan. I like this one, and I've met this one. The transplanter. The guy who becomes a fan of the local team like a day after his U-Haul has moved into town.
Here's the issue. This can go two ways. So I believe that it becomes generational, right? I think when you're around a team, you get to know a team. You know your local sports, and this is changing because of the way our news is now more, on a national level. But the more you're around a team, the more you're going to like that team, because you're going to find people you like. And then when you find people you like, you start to root for them. But just depending on the sport and things like that, it's hard to give up the allegiances of your team that you love. Like if the Yankees moved their single A team here, which I don't know why we didn't do that, and I got to know those local players, I would have been fans of those local players when they made it to the majors, right? That would have been the thing.
That makes sense, yeah.
And that would have helped me hate the Yankees less, maybe, possibly. So there you go.
So I have a friend in Naples, and he grew up in New York, but he was never a fan of what's that team up there, the Giants?
Yeah.
He was always a fan of the Miami Dolphins, always. And so he when he moved into town, or into the state, I should say, his allegiance didn't happen because of the move. He's always been a Dolphins fan.
Right.
All right.
There you go.
The next one is the teacher. The one who explains everything to you, even though you probably could be the teacher.
I don't like to be this guy, but sometimes, my wife will like, well, I don't understand what happened, and then you have to be the teacher. So, I've been that guy. Sure, yes.
Well, that happens, by the way, in music too. By the way,
yeah,
people tell you.
Yeah, they tell you.
The next one is the jockey. The jockey isn't a sports fan as much as someone who saddles up a single athlete, hops on their back, and rides them to the gates.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Like smothering them.
All right, the next one is the.
Well, it's more about you live and die by what they do. Oh, they got to throw it to. Let's say Odell Beckham. They got to throw it to Odell Beckham. He's the best player on the team. Odell Beckham makes that play, that kind of thing.
Yeah. That's exactly what they mean. Yeah,
I get it. Yeah.
And a guy like me would go into a game and probably know one name. And so that'd be the one, oh, there he is. There's the famous guy.
Yeah.
And a guy like you would say, wait a minute, they're all famous. Not me. All right. The next one is the Belushi. Let me read this one. The Belushi. A day at the ballpark isn't complete without a verbal altercation and a Hindenburg of a hangover for the Belushi, who places rowdiness next to godliness when it comes to attending live sporting events.
Oh, John Belushi.
Okay, yeah.
Gotta be.
How about that? You say he's a heckler, not a fighter. There you go. He's a trash.
Yeah.
A trash
talker. He
talker.
could be fun to be with as long as you're. And then at some point you just have to going in. He's going to embarrass you, right? and when you're with somebody, therefore he represents you. And this is typically a guy who wears his hat backwards, has a jersey, a throwback jersey from, 1914. He's that guy, right? He also tries to be the teacher, and then he becomes the heckler and the Belushi. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Do you know, when you go to the pet shop, you see those betta fish in those little tiny bowls?
Yeah.
So if you are ever at a game, seeing it live, and the guy sitting next to you is your equivalent and a fan for the Yankees, and those are the two teams playing at that moment, you better find a little bowl to put yourselves in, because there's going to be a fight.
That's right.
You're going to be the betta fish out of the tank.
I don't know. No, I don't think.
Oh, my gosh. I'm bringing my... invite me to that one.
Yeah, we'd like to see you at that one.
I'm going...
I would never fight. I would never fight. I'm too old to that now. And
I don't mean fists. Sure. I mean words. I think the words would be very... Yeah, you'd be loud.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even... I could not be loud. I'm like... this is what I say to all Yankees fans. 21st century's been rough for you guys. That's it.
Oh my gosh.
Over.
It's kind of like being with a diehard Republican and a diehard Democrat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the two beta fish right
Blinders,
there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
So I agree. And I think I've said this. Politics has become much, much more personal, much more nasty than it is disgusting. At least at fans, at the end of the day, you shake their hands and you understand they're not a horrible person. Left and right people, they think the other side are just horrible people.
That's right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, right. Yeah, they are the beta fish of today's world. Yeah. The next one is the gambler. You go to his house, he's got the TV on, but he's busy clicking back and forth between online poker and his bookie's website.
Sure. Well, the thing about the gamblers, they care about different things. They care about the final score. And that last, they're gonna watch the game or watch the game till the last minute in case somebody gets a cheap field goal or a cheap home run or closes the spread. That's what they care about. They don't care about wins and losses. They care about whether or not they covered.
Oh, here's a good one. The would-be sports writer. Have you? The would-be sports writer.
What is that one?
All sports writers are hacks, and no one knows that irrefutable fact better than the all-knowing would-be sports writer who whiles away their day by haunting sports websites while they demonstrate their endless sports knowledge by writing paragraph after paragraph of numbered facts in the comment section of any article. Yeah. There you go.
Sure. They're just bloggers. Those are the guys on social media that'll just... They can be really entertaining, but they can also be exhausting.
How about the next one? Is the blind follower. A willing follower of whatever team is doing well at that time. Oh, it's almost like the bandwagon guy, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what the difference is. Yeah. I know people who they pick a team like in the playoffs or something. College football does this a lot. Like their team's out, so they try to rationalize why they're going to follow a team. Well, they're in the SEC, or well, they're in the ACC. That kind of thing. Well, we only lost to them by 3 points. So if they win by more than 3, that means we could be the second best team in the nation. Stuff like that. That just drives me crazy. Yeah.
The next one is the evangelical. I have this with food. I have had the sushi evangelical. You've got to try it. It is the best thing ever. So the sports evangelical is the fan who works tirelessly to introduce the uninitiated to their favorite sport. Oh yeah.
No, you know who you can call these people? Soccer fans. Right? This is the soccer fan.
That's the soccer fan.
They believe that.
That's right.
That's who they are. I mean, soccer. Oh man, my gosh, soccer is the greatest sport in the world for a reason. The World Cup comes around. They're the guys who's breaking down the matchups. Oh my gosh, you've got to watch this. Yeah. Oh, did you see that play? Soccer has the greatest athlete. Like, okay, all right, no. I like soccer. It's just not nearly as good as watching football or baseball. Yeah.
Let me skip it because we don't have enough time. The face painter. They came, they saw, they painted their face.
And their chest.
Again, If you're painting anything and you're over a certain age, it's time to grow up. I mean, come on.
All right, I'm wondering if you have one
like
of these.
If you're in college, it's okay. You can get away
That's
with
it, yeah. You're done. I'm going to use the evangelical one, by the way.
That's a good
I'm going
one.
to use that next time somebody tries to get me to eat sushi.
Oh, there you go.
I'm gonna say, you're a sushi evangelical.
I love that.
We need Seinfeld back. That would be a good bit for him. All right. Mr. Mixtape. He's always sending things to your browser, flooding your inbox with all kinds of tapes of athletic abilities, including high school football. Hey. Hey, that's what you're good at.
Yeah.
Still processing.
Well, yeah. That's who my entire Twitter feed is right there. Watch my highlight. Yeah, that's okay.
All right. Well, that was kind of fun. There were a few more, but we have to wrap it up. Where's the Bloodmobile today?
Hey, today we are right at the Walmart there on Easy Street. So come by and see us, and please just give the gift of life to donate blood.
Nice. Right down from the Paddock Mall.
Yeah, and remember, there's going to be a need for a while. All those people who would normally be giving blood but lost their homes up in the stretch of land that went all the way from the Panhandle back to the North Carolina coast, they're all probably not going to be donating for a while, so we need to double up if we can. Galen, thank you for what you do. Be careful out there, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, sounds great. Thank you, guys.
All right, we'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is back from a trip to Saudi Arabia and Turkey. This morning, he'll brief President Trump about the disappearance of a Saudi journalist, Jamal Khashoggi.
In the latest alleged leak from the investigation, a Turkish newspaper identifying a man who entered the continent shortly before the journalist disappeared as someone who previously travelled with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince to the United States. Meanwhile, the Washington Post publishing what it calls Khashoggi's last column, describing abuses against journalists by Middle Eastern governments.
Fox's Simon Owen. Investigators in Wisconsin say they believe a missing 13-year-old girl was there when her parents were shot and killed at home in the middle of the night Monday, and that she's somewhere in danger.
Is it a random attack or is it a targeted attack? I don't know that answer.
Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald says there's no reason to believe Jamie Kloss is a runaway or a suspect in her parents' murders. This is Fox News.
Napa know-how.
This month, a 2-pack of Napa Night Vision headlamps is up to $10 off. Because with fall comes longer nights and poor overall visibility. Luckily, our headlamps have superior illumination, which helps reduce the chance of an accident. See better, drive safer, with up to $10 off a 2-pack of Napa Night Vision headlamps. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.